Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news all right. Bills fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer, a real shakeup in the AFC East and potentially the entire AFC landscape. Rumors are swirling that the Kansas City Chiefs are considering trading Chris Jones, their star defensive tackle, and if this happens, it could alter the balance of power in the AFC significantly, especially for the Bills. Now I know what you're thinking. Chris Jones, a guy who's been a nightmare for offenses for years, one of the top interior defenders in the league, and a guy who's been crucial for the Chiefs' success. But it looks like Kansas City might be ready to move on from him, and it's not just idle chatter. There are strong sources indicating that the Chiefs, who are currently dealing with a cap situation of about $48 million in dead money and just a 6-9 record, are eyeing a rebuild following their post-Mahomes era. They're looking to free up cap space, and trading Jones could be a strategic move to do just that. Now, the report suggests that Kansas City could be asking for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft and a third-rounder in 2027 in exchange for Jones. That's a pretty hefty price tag, but considering the impact Jones has, he's a dominant force up front, it's understandable. The Chiefs are apparently prioritizing cap relief, focusing their resources on their young wide receivers and trying to rebuild around their future. It's a tough pill for Chiefs fans to swallow. Losing Jones would be a blow to their defense, which has already been struggling, giving up an average of nearly 20 points per game. But for the Bills, this could be a golden opportunity. Let's zoom out for a moment and think about what this means for the Bills. Buffalo, sitting at 11-4 and fighting for playoff positioning, has been searching for ways to bolster their interior defensive line after losing Carter to IR, ACL injury in Week 11. Adding a player of Jones's caliber would be a massive upgrade. Jones, at 31, still has plenty of gas in the tank. In 2025, he played all 15 games he was available for, posting solid numbers, 12 solos, 12 assists, and a total of 24 tackles, along with 5 sacks. His PFF grade overall is 71. 0, which ranks him around the 26th among interior defenders, but his pass rush grade is a stellar 90. 5, ranking him second in the league at his position. That kind of disruption up front is exactly what the Bills need, especially considering their pass rush has been a bit inconsistent, with only 38 sacks this season, which is lower than expected for a team with their talent. Bringing Chris Jones into the fold would be a huge boon for Buffalo's defense. His ability to generate pressure, 45 pressures in 2025 with a 22% win rate, means he's a constant threat to opposing quarterbacks. With Jones on the line, the Bills could see an immediate impact, not just in sacks, but in disrupting the entire offensive flow. He's the kind of player who can command double teams, freeing up other guys like Oliver and Rousseau to make more plays. It's not just about individual stats, it's about how he elevates the entire unit. And considering the Bills' recent struggles, particularly in run defense, which has been a bit leaky, adding a player of Jones's caliber could help tighten things up significantly, reducing yards per carry from around 4.5 to closer to 3.5. Now some might ask, why would the Chiefs trade him? Well, there are reasons beyond just cap space. The Chiefs' offensive line had some issues this year, especially with Mahomes under pressure at times. They might be trying to rebuild their line and allocate resources differently. Plus, there's the factor of Jones's cap hit. His contract weighs heavily on their books, and moving him could make room for their young defensive recruits and draft picks. There's also skepticism about Kansas City's interior defense, which has looked a bit weak lately, and losing Jones could make that even worse. But for the Bills, this is an opportunity to capitalize on a division rival's potential weakness and strengthen their own front line. Looking at the broader impact, acquiring Jones would send shockwaves through the AFC. His addition would significantly boost the Bills' ability to disrupt opposing offenses. His projected production, an additional 8 sacks, 15 more tackles for loss, and around 3.5 fewer rushing yards per attempt, would make the Bills' defense much more formidable. His EPA per play could improve to around 4, meaning the Bills' defense would be far more effective at stopping drives and forcing turnovers. The Bills could see a jump in their PFF defensive grade from the mid-80s to the high 90s, making them one of the top defenses in the league once again. And that's not just talk, it's backed by stats and film analysis. Jones's history of making big plays in the playoffs, with 15 sacks in his postseason career, makes him a true X-factor when the stakes are highest. For the Bills' offense, the impact would be felt in terms of time of possession and scoring. Adding Jones means more third-down stops, fewer points allowed per game, potentially dropping from 18 to around 15, and creating more opportunities for Josh Allen and the offense to operate. With a stronger defensive front, the Bills could also see improvements in their run game, which has struggled at times this season, averaging about 4-5 yards per carry. If Jones can help reduce that to 3-5, it would open up the play-action game and give Allen more room to operate. The defense would also see a rise in turnovers, maybe around +10 in turnovers forced, giving the Bills even more chances to score and extend leads. Now let's talk about the potential betting implications because this is huge. The Bills' Super Bowl odds could improve dramatically with the addition of a player like Jones. Currently, their odds hover around +1,200, but with Jones, those could tighten to around +650, making Buffalo a much more attractive contender. For Kansas City, losing Jones could be a blow, and their odds might lengthen from +15000 to even less favorable numbers, indicating that they're entering a rebuild phase. The AFC playoff picture could look very different if this move comes to fruition, and the Bills would be right at the heart of it, poised to make a deep run. As we wrap up, it's clear that this potential trade is more than just a rumor. It's a strategic move that could redefine the Bills' defense and their entire season. With Jones anchoring the interior line, Buffalo's defense could transform into a nightmare for opposing offenses, especially against the run and in pressuring the quarterback. It's the kind of move that makes Bills fans dream about another Super Bowl appearance, one where the defense is as dominant as it's been in recent history, echoing some of the best eras with players like Donald in Los Angeles. The vision here is clear. If the Bills manage to land Chris Jones, we're talking about a serious contender, a team that's not just happy to make the playoffs, but to go all the way. And finally, as we look ahead, the possibility of Jones joining Buffalo is exciting but also uncertain. But one thing is for sure, if this trade happens, it will be a statement. A statement that the Bills are serious about competing at the highest level, about building a defense that can match their high-powered offense, and about taking that next step towards Super Bowl glory. The AFC East might be shaking up, and the Bills could be leading the charge. So stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and the next chapter could be the most thrilling yet. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Buffalo Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news.